To give you some tips, especially for you new players out there. When you play poker, think of playing poker as running a business. In business, you're constantly gathering information, you're making decisions, you invest your money, you hope to get a return on your investment. Playing poker is exactly the same thing. At the poker table, you're constantly gathering information. You're constantly making decisions. You invest your money. You hope to get a return on your investment. The only difference is, in business, it may take you 5 years to see if you make any money. In poker, you're going to get an instant result. It's vital in poker that you remain patient and disciplined as a player. In other words, the surest way to poverty on the poker table is if you start playing weak or mediocre hands and hope that you get lucky to win the pot. You know, it's much more fun to play. We all know that. But if you want to succeed at poker, you're going to have to wait on the good cards and throw the bad ones away. Another thing is, it's vital that you understand what the best hand in poker is at all times. This is something you should practice, you should study, you should learn. You should always know what the best hand is at a particular time. In poker, we call that the nuts, having the best hand at that particular time. This is something that you want to familiarize yourself with. Allow me to give you an example here of a hand as it develops. You know, the best hand may change as play develops. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In this particular hand, player 1 has 2 aces. Player 2 has 2 jacks. Player 3 has king, queen. Player 4 has ace 4 of diamonds. Obviously, 2 aces is the best hand at this particular time. But now, let's go to the flop and see what happens. Notice what's happened now. The 2 aces are no longer the best hand. Player 2 over here has flopped 3 jacks. It's what we call the top set. When you have a pair in the hand, and the highest card on the board makes you 3 of a kind, that's called the top set in poker. Right now, 3 jacks is the best possible hand that you could have. Now we're going to go to 4th Street. The 9 of hearts comes off. Now notice what's happened. Player 3 here has made a king high straight. So now player 3 has the best hand. The 3 jacks are no longer the best hand. Now we're going to go to the river card, the last card to come off. And look what's happened. Now there's 3 diamonds on the board. Player 4 has made an ace high flush. And that would be the nuts in this situation. There's no hand that could beat it. Player 4 is now going to win the hand. So as you can see, as play develops, a hand on one street might not be the best hand on the next street or the next card. It varies. It's vital that you understand what beats what and what is the best hand at all times when you're playing poker. Let's talk a little bit about betting strategy. In poker, aggressive players do better than passive players. Simply put, be a bettor, not a caller. The reason for that is that bettors can win a pot 2 ways. They can have the best hand and win the pot, or they can bet and nobody will call them, and they'll also win the pot. A caller, on the other hand, can only win a pot one way. They must have the best hand. So in terms of simple math, you can see that a bettor has a 2-to-1 advantage over a caller. In poker, we have a saying, if you can't beat a calling station, you can't beat anybody. What that means is that players that just call their money off, they don't ever bet, they don't raise. When somebody bets, they call them. You know, this is the easiest opponent that you will ever find at a poker table. And if you happen to be a calling station where you're the one always calling your money off, my suggestion is you might want to take up golf or tennis because poker is not going to be your game. In poker, aggression pays. Be a bettor, not a caller. You'll do better.